Hi, everyone. How are you? This is the Love and Money Show, and today I'm going to be talking about the differences between the rich mindset and the poor mindset. So, these are just some things to think about. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but it's just something to think about the differences in the mindsets of the rich and the poor. But before I start, I would like to preface this with the fact that African Americans, the majority of African Americans are in a different situation because of everything that has transpired, such as slavery, for example, such as the things that are currently going on right now. Um, for example, there can be brilliant medical students who complete medical school, and when they're finished, they can't find a job. Guess why? Because they won't hire them. So there are still things going on uh, as it pertains to race and African Americans. So there's the slavery, there is the not hiring you, there is the holding fake interviews, pretending that they're giving everyone a fair shot, when in reality they already know who they're going to hire, um, such as their friends, family members. There are things like that that are going on, such as looking at your resume. Does your name sound like it's white or does your name sound like it's black? So, depending on what your name sounds like, we're going to give you a call. So, those kind of things are still going on. It's facts, it's reality. So, I just want to preface that. Um, and then I'm going to talk about the differences between the rich mindset and the poor mindset. So, the rich mindset. The rich mindset, money works for you. Money works for you. And so, the way that money works for you as a rich person is that you invest in passive income. And so, there are a lot of different passive incomes out here, but there are three main streams primarily that the rich invest in, which are passive. The stock market. Are you in the stock market? Business. Do you own a business? Real estate. Do you own rental property? So these are examples of the income streams that the rich are in, and money is working for them. As opposed to the poor mindset, you work for money. You get up and you go to work, maybe a job that you can't stand, or maybe you don't mind it that much, but regardless, you get up and you go to work every day. You work for money. And maybe you're not in the stock market. This is something that is not taught in school. As far as the stock market goes, it's something that we could have been in like 30 years ago if someone had just bothered to tell us. So maybe you're not in the stock market. Perhaps you don't have a business. Perhaps you don't have rental property. So these are the three passive income streams that you're not in because you're working for money. You get up and you go work for money so that you can get a paycheck at the end of the week or the end of 2 weeks. So that's one difference in the mindsets. The rich, money works for you. The poor, you work for money. So, another thing, difference between the rich and the poor. The rich invest. They find places to invest their money so that it will grow. Compound interest is working for you, whether that be through the stock market or whether it be through things that you have to be accredited for or private equity, things that other people are not aware of. They are investing their money. As opposed to the poor mindset, your money is in the bank account. Perhaps you don't know about investing, or maybe you don't trust the whole investing thing. So that is another difference between the rich and the poor. The rich are investing. They're always looking for ways to grow their money. That your money is actually working for you. Your money is working for you because you're investing it in things that are going to grow your money on its own. As opposed to the poor, your money is in the bank account. You don't involve yourself investing for a myriad of reasons. Maybe someone never bothered to tell you. So, another difference between the rich and the poor, the rich mindset is to take calculated risks. For example, we are in the bear market right now, as far as the stock market goes, where the stock market is kind of shaky. So, a rich mindset would take calculated risks. Rich people are still in the stock market, still buying stocks, irregardless of what is going on in the news. It is a consistent effort, no matter what the news is saying. Consistent effort of investing in the stock market, taking calculated risks. Whereas opposed to the poor mindset, I'm not taking any risks. No risks. No risks whatsoever. So that is the poor mindset. The rich mindset is consistent learning, consistently reading, consistently growing. Now, the poor mindset, I'm not going to say that the poor mindset does not read because generally the poor mindset is reading, but they are reading different things. Um, where the rich is learning and reading about money, how to grow your money, the poor is reading about other things, maybe how to help other human beings in the world, uh, getting degrees, becoming doctors, becoming lawyers, um, things like that. Learning about things that are going on in the human body, how you can help people, how you can um, save people's lives, for example. If they got shot on the street, you would know how to save their lives. So I'm not going to say that poor people don't read because poor people do read. It's just directed in a different direction other than money. Whereas the rich mindset, you are reading about money and finances. There is a targeted, concerted effort to build wealth. And that is the rich mindset. Also, the rich mindset, they do not consider building wealth easy. They know that it is going to take discipline and time and patience to get to where they desire to get, whether that be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, etc. As opposed to the poor mindset, you've been poor for so long that you want your money right now, instant. So the poor mindset is more likely to fall for these quick, get rich quick schemes because they've been poor forever and they are ready for their money now. So looking for instant wealth. So that is a difference also in the mindset. Keep in mind, I'm just going through this so you can just kind of have in your mind the differences. Think about your goal. What is your goal? Is your goal to become rich? If your goal is to become rich, just think about the differences and then you can fine tune your thought process. Again, I'm not saying that one is better or the other, just pointing out the differences. So, another thing, the differences between the rich and the poor. The rich, they take time to make decisions. The poor, I'm not going to say they're impulsive because they are also taking time to make decisions. So just because you're poor, it doesn't mean that you are any less or than anyone else. Like poor people are very intelligent people, um, good, very good people. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other. Let's see. The other thing, the rich mindset. You have clear goals and clear targets. The poor mindset, I'm not going to say that there is no action because if you think about it, there are people working out here who are working extremely hard and getting nowhere. So think of the Latino community, for example, working extremely hard and getting nowhere. So the rich, clear goals, clear targets, poor mindset. I'm not going to say no action. There are people working extremely hard and getting nowhere. This is a Latino community. Also, the African American community is out there working extremely hard, whether you want to believe that or not. African American women are the most educated out of all of the population. African American women are the one getting college degrees, doctorate degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees. So extremely educated, just in a different direction. Also, African American women are doing their thing in business. So they are uh, entrepreneurs in very high numbers. So, like I said, I'm not saying that one is better than the other. Just take into consideration the differences in the thought process when I name them. So the other thing is that the rich mindset. The rich are creators. They are creating. They're thinking of things to create, to sell to you. Because you, as a poor person, you're a consumer. You're the one that's going to be buying the products that they create. So that's the difference. So if your desire is to be rich, turn that around and become a creator instead of a consumer. Other thing, the difference between the rich mindset and the poor mindset, the rich have relationships. So thinking about who you surround yourself with. Rich people have relationships with other rich people. So, for example, you know that I do podcasts and I interview people. I interview millionaires and entrepreneurs. But the majority of people that I reach out to, they look at my podcast and they say, hmm, nah, I don't think she's as rich as I am. And so they only talk to people who they believe are as rich as they are, if you see what I mean. Of course, there are other people who are humble and they do come on the podcast because their desire is to share. So everyone is not the same, but the rich mindset is relationships. Relationships are very important. Who you surround yourself with. Rich people, they help each other. Can you imagine that being in a community who helps each other? Rich people help each other. That is a difference in the rich mindset. Poor people is more like a crabs in the barrel mentality where um, you think you're all that, you think you're better than me. That kind of thing goes on in the poor community. The rich mindset, they are helping each other and building relationships. So if your desire is to become rich, think about that relationship aspects and who you surround yourself with. And come up with the fab. The five fab. Who is your five fab? Where do you want to be? Who is there already? Who is humble and who is willing to help without ulterior motives? Develop your five fab. So that's another difference. The rich mindset, relationships is very important. They help each other. The poor mindset, it's kind of like, are you going to help yourself? That kind of mindset. So there's a difference there. The rich mindset, They don't waste a lot of time. They have goals. I mean, the poor have goals also, but the rich have goals and they don't waste a lot of time. Whereas the poor mindset is, I'm going to sit around and watch TV all day. Watch TV for 24 hours out the day. So that is another difference. Time. Where's your time being allocated? First of all, what are your goals and how are you going to allocate the time to reach the goal? Another thing with the rich mindset, the rich mindset marry well. They think about their partner and choose a partner who is in alignment with them. Um, Keep in mind, all rich people are not married, but there is a mindset of building with two. Building with two. Two is stronger than one. Whereas the poor mindset is you have the baby mama, the baby daddy. How many women can I have? I'm not trying to get married. Maybe I'll get married when I'm about 50. That is the poor mindset. So instead of coming together with another person who could be your partner in life and build together, the poor community is, I'm going to play around until I can't play around anymore. Age 49, 50, 51, 52. Maybe I can wait till I'm 55. Maybe I'll wait till I'm 60 to get married. So you see the difference. So this doesn't apply to all people, but there's a difference in the mindset, if you can see what I'm saying. So another thing, the rich mindset. The rich mindset is they have a goal to build wealth. The poor mindset, you're kind of unconscious, unaware of this ideal that you should be building wealth. So, um, say for example, you could have been in the stock market 30 years ago. You could have been buying rental property 30 years ago, but there's an unawareness there. So another thing, the rich mindset is looking for opportunities even when it may look bad. So say for example, it looks bad right now, like we're headed towards a recession. So the rich mindset is I'm going to find an opportunity in what is going on. The poor mindset is this is a bad economy. And then there is kind of like a lack of motivation. The rich mindset, you have a drive and an ambition and a motivation. Um, the poor mindset is more of a lack of motivation, but I'm not going to say it's a lack of motivation because sometimes the poor mindset is you are just trying to survive. You're in survival mode. There are a lot of things going on, and um, you have to be at the base foundation first before you even think about building wealth. And some people are not at this base foundation. They need to find out how are they going to pay the rent, first of all, or things like that. There are things going on. How am I going to get this money to put gas in my tank to get to work? I can't even get to work because I don't have the money to put in my gas tank. So survival mode. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying that there is a difference. Also, with the rich mindset, the rich usually they have a head start on the poor because not only are they investing for themselves, but they are investing for their children. So that child is having money put away from them for them, compounding since birth, since birth. So this child has a head start on this other child who is equally intelligent or usually more intelligent, but they didn't have a parent who invested for them. So you have this parent investing for the child. Uh, they have money in the stock market for the child, perhaps even buying rental property for the child. Like there are things like buying a property, and then when the child grows up, you can sell that property and use that money for their college education. Whereas opposed to this other child needs to go to college, doesn't have the money, and so takes out a student loan. So there are those kind of things going on. So when you watch this, just think about some of the differences between the rich mindset and the poor mindset, and just take some of the things that I said into consideration. And if there are any adjustments that you can make, just think about the adjustments that you would like to make, because the sole purpose of this is to just think about the thoughts that are in your mind. Think about anything that may be blocking you or hindering you from becoming rich, because ultimately it's going to be in your mind. The thoughts that are in your mind will result in your actions. So first you think the thoughts, I am rich. I am a multimillionaire. I'm going to be rich. These thoughts result in the actions. I'm putting money in the stock market. I'm buying real estate. I'm creating my business. As opposed to the thoughts over here, only white people can live the lives that they want to live. These rich people are so evil and greedy, or they don't want me to be successful because I'm black. These thoughts are not going to result in you taking action. And perhaps the thoughts may have truth to them. They may have truth to them, but nobody can stop you but you. Not racism, not your parents, not the lack of financial literacy, not your children. Nobody can stop you but you. So, just whatever you hear on the podcast, just think about it. Think about any changes that you can make in your thought process, and then just start taking action, putting one foot in front of the other. Okay? So, this is the Love and Money Show. If you like this show, please hit the like, subscribe, notification bell button. In the comments, leave a comment saying I subscribe so that I can see you. So, this is the Love and Money Show. If you like the show, please share it with one other person. And don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of your night.